Welcome to a new video. Before I tell you what I'm doing, let's get some kit out of the van, let's get up to the lake, and then we'll talk to you about a plan of action for this session. In the swim then, and that is the lake behind me. We are back on the golf course, and I've come up here to actually test out some products. So I've decided to try out a couple of new products from the guys at Korda and to see if they're as good as Mr. Danny Fairbrass claims them to be. So what I'm going to be doing is fishing different tactics to last week, and we're going to be trying out a few bits and seeing if they can put a few fish in the bank to hopefully give you guys an idea whether it's worth parting with your hard-earned money and getting them and trying them out yourselves. So let's get some rods out, let's get sorted, and then we'll talk you through what we're going to be trying out today, what we're testing, and hopefully it's going to catch me a few fish. Right, first rod going out then. I'm using a leg clip set up today, 4-ounce lead, and then I've got some new bits from Korda on the end here which I've just tied up. So I've got one of their hooks, and I've also got their new shot on the hook tungsten weights. So I thought I'd try something different and give them a go. Nice. Bobbing on. Rod 1 is fishing. Second rod going out then, same setup on the lead arrangement, just a leg clip, but I've actually got a braided rig on here, and then I've got a knotless knot with a little blowback set up with an 18mm straight bottom bait, and then I've got the little shot on a hook tungsten weight from Korda and one of their new hooks as well, which is the first time I'm using them. So let's get that back out, get it out. I've had a bit of an occurrence on the left rod already, not quite sure what happened. It might have actually rolled down a slope because I just had like a steady drop back. But anyway. Right, both rods are out then. Just throwing a few baits across to the other side. See if I can get the fish moving around a bit. Not putting too many out, just putting a light scattering really. See if that does the job. Yeah. Well, the rods are out then. It's taken a lot of messing around because I had to tie up some fresh rigs with the new Korda goodies that I'm going to test out today. But I thought I should probably tell you what I'm using and why. So the new bits and bobs that I've decided to use, well, one of them is actually a hook pattern, and that is the new beaked, long shank beaked hooks. I've got them in micro barbed and barbed. I wasn't too sure what I was going to, micro barbed and barbless. I wasn't too sure what I was going to need today. But yeah, I've got them, and I love the wide gate pattern Korda hooks. So these are kind of like an extended version of them. So I thought it'd be interesting to see what kind of hook holds I get, how they perform. You know, do they seem to be doing the job? I obviously need to use them a couple of times to get an understanding of sort of how they perform against maybe a normal wide gate. But I thought that'd be interesting just to see and play around with, and maybe you guys would find it interesting to watch. So if you have used them, let me know what you think. Are they good? Are they worth the money, or am I wasting my money? Be interesting to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. And the other little gadget I've got with me today is something I've talked about before. I talked about, I think, the start of the year, and that is the shot on the hook. So Korda have brought out their own tungsten shot on the hooks. These are the 0.40 gram, which is the same weight I use in my Ronnies. So I thought it was a good starting point because I'm used to that kind of weight balancing out the pop-ups. But yeah, I thought I'd try them out. They're obviously nice and neat, nice and tidy, very simple to use. But you can obviously do the same thing with a piece of braid in the shot. But at the same time, they are a nice, clean version of it, and they do sit really well on the hook. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see sort of if they sort of perform long term, whether they end up sort of wearing out and having to sort of get thrown in the bin, or whether they're sort of long lasting and you can just reuse them every time. It'd be interesting to see how they perform in that sense. But I thought I'd try them today as well and see what kind of hookups we can get. So they're out in the pond anyway. I've actually got one on a coated braid hook length, one on just a normal soft braid hook length, both with little bags on them, and I've just put a couple of handfuls of matching baits over the top, so some 18mm S7 and bug. So we'll see what happens, but the rods are out there, we are fishing, we've got a couple of hours to make it happen. Let's hope the carp play ball. What an absolute disaster that session turned out to be then. So yes, I'm on a different day today. You can probably tell by the conditions, it is not sunny and high pressure. It's actually pretty low pressure, a bit of wind and bit of rain, and actually feeling very carpy today. So unfortunately, I actually got a call where I had to shoot off home and sack off that session, which to be fair, I wasn't too bothered about because it wasn't happening. It was one of those days where I've been better off on the floaters or fishing zigs or something. But obviously I was trying to test out those bits of gear from Korda, and I just picked a bad day for it really. So I sacked off that session, but I thought I'd show you, obviously because I'd filmed it all, I talked through obviously the plan of attack, and I've basically come back in better conditions to basically have another go. So hopefully this doesn't turn into a disaster, but the weather is a lot better today. It's nice and mild. We've got a nice wind on. It's overcast, it's been a bit of drizzle, so I'm hoping the fish are going to be up for a bit of grub, and hopefully we can get a bite or two. So we'll see what happens, but the rods are out there. We're in the same swim, literally doing the same thing. I've got them both over towards this far margin, not super tight. I've actually come off of it a little bit into the slightly deeper water. I've put a couple of handfuls of freebies out there as well, just to obviously get the fish rooting around, and hopefully one of the rods goes rattling. But we've got a couple of hours to try and make it happen. I've actually switched one of them to a solid bag. So last time I was fishing one on a braided hook length, and I think one on like a coated braided hook length. But the braided hook length I've actually shortened down and put into a solid bag this time, just with a wafter. And then the other one is on a snowman on the sort of D-rig sort of setup. So I think that's kind of a good presentation for this style of hook. So we'll see what happens anyway. I'm pretty confident if the fish are on the feed, we'll get a bite. So let's hope it happens, and let's hope we can put a fish in this video. God, hell of a bite. That absolutely tanked off. Yeah, this one's on the solid bag, and if I'm quite honest, it is literally my go-to tactic. It's my confident tactic. I almost feel like I don't like putting anything else out. I literally, I've just got so much confidence in a solid bag. This is on one of the Korda hooks, so it'd be interesting to see what the hook holds like. Absolutely love these reels. It's not a bad fish though. Absolutely love these reels. They're so smooth. Well, this fish is absolutely going for it. Woo. God, it's absolutely tanking off. Maybe I've found a different presentation for the old solid bags. He is not happy. He's in there. Oh, he's in. Right, sorted. Well, those hooks did the job. It looks absolutely nailed in the bottom lip. So we'll have a look at the hook hold when I get them out. But yeah, what a result. Well, there we go then. I've had one on the new hooks, and it was absolutely nailed. Now, I forgot to show you because would you believe there was actually another hook length in this fish's mouth? It was, or I should say, a hook and a piece of line. It had clearly got smashed up or smashed someone up and been cut off, and it had a small, probably a size maybe 8 hook in it, and I'd say maybe sort of 10 or 12 pound mono, which to be honest you're not supposed to use on here. I think it's 15 pound plus on here, so yeah, a little bit disappointing to see that, but it's a fish on those hooks, and I was going to show you the hook hold, but because it had that other hook in it, I completely forgot because I was sorting that out. But anyway, it was nailed. You have to just take my word for it. Bottom lip banger, and yeah, those hooks have produced a business. So there we go. But it just shows how important conditions are. Different conditions today, much better than the last session, and the fish have switched on ladder feed. So yeah, although the tactics have worked, the conditions have definitely helped that situation. So let's get this one back. Let's get that rod back out there. And you never know, I might be able to nick another one before we shoot off. Cheers, mate. Right, here's the rig then. As you can see, that hook on a little slip D. The hook actually still feels pretty sharp. But yeah, that was the business end. Little solid bag rig, slip D on that long shanked beat hook from Korda. So yeah, it definitely did the business. I'm quite impressed with how well they hooked up. Actually, the hook hold was really good, and actually that hook is, as you can see, that is still really sharp. So that is quite impressive. I don't know if you can see that, it's really digging into my skin there really easily. So very sharp hooks. So yeah, I'm actually really impressed with that. So anyway, I've got another one ready to go. So all we need to do is take this one off of the loop. All you do is pull the rig through it like that, and then take it off. Now actually, I've just noticed I found a bit of grating sensation, and actually looking at the top of here, that is all grated. I don't know where you can see that, but the hook, the mono there, it's been grated along something. It's actually frayed it up big time, and actually that there is actually really damaged. So lucky we got that fish in. So I'm going to take that off, redo the loop, and put a fresh one on. I'm going to put this one a little bit more round to the right. Might have been a little bit too close to the bank, but we'll give that a go. Tighten that down, line clip, bob in. Both of the rods are out now on solid bags. Obviously that right hand rod did me a bite on the solid, so both are on them now, across towards that far side, as you can't fish over there. That's obviously where one of the holes is for the golf, but hopefully they go rattling off with another one before we have to shoot off. What an absolute result that was then. Happy days, we've had one. And yeah, nice double, and it was good to get one after obviously last session it being so slow and being a disaster and having to shoot off early. So yeah, nice. Oh, I got another bite. Bit of a drop back, better pick that one up. God, huge drop back. God, what's happened there? God, they absolutely love it, don't they? Look at that. That's a quality roach. That's got to be 3/4 of a pound. Absolutely nailed in the bottom lip. Let them go. So far I've had one carp, a roach and a skimmer, foul hook skimmer. So yeah, there's obviously fish active moving around. There's clearly a lot of sort of silverfish and general coarse fish in this lake, and you're not actually allowed to fish for them. Used to be. Oh, I got another bite. That might actually be a carp, that one. It's got to be a carp with that bite. Come on, surely. Oh, there's not much happening, is it? Just swimming at me. Yeah, I've just seen another one show down there now. God, what's this? That was running. I've literally just had like three bites in a row and not one of them's been a carp. What's this? Oh, it's a tiny little carp. It's tiny. Oh dear, I didn't think there was any that small in here. Actually, thinking about it, I did catch a couple of little ones on a session. Oh dear. Right, that's all my bag's done. Oh. Wow. Oh dear. Right, well, we've had another one. It's going to be a bit tricky holding this one up. It's a absolute chunk. Oh, there we go. What's that, about £2.5? Would have been nice as a roach. But yeah, nice to have another carp, but I was expecting them a little bit bigger than this. Most of them have normally been doubles in here. But this fish was absolutely nailed. And I was going to show you the hook hold. But unfortunately, it went absolutely berserk on the unhooking mat. And the hook come out. So anyway, we slipped this little guy back. We might have enough time for one more, but I'm going to have to tie a couple of solid bags now because I've just done all my bags in one go. What's that? 3 bites, a roach, a bream, and a little carp. Now I need some more bags. Anyway, let's get this guy back. Let's go and tie a few more bags up. It seems every time I get the camera out, I get disturbed by the rod rattling off, which, to be honest, isn't a bad problem. But yeah, that was a very small little carp, that one. But yeah, I've had quite a few bites now. Obviously only the 2 carp, but I've had a roach and a bream, and I've had quite a few liners, and there's clearly a lot of activity out there. There's a lot of fish moving around of all species, it would seem. But it's interesting that I'm actually catching the sort of actually hooking up with the roach and stuff like that. So I think those hooks are so sharp. I think even with, you know, those kind of nuisance species, which, although if I was fishing from, I'd be more than happy to catch a roach of that size, you know, nearly a pound. Obviously when you're carping, it's not quite the same. But anyway, it's nice to be getting some rods rattle and for the, you know, essentially testing these hooks. I've got another bite. I've got another bite on the same rod. I've literally just tied up 2 solid bags, put it out there, and something's already picked it up. I think it's another roach. Looking at that, this is ridiculous. Well, it stopped again, but it's this. Oh, there we go. It's this right hand rod has now dropped back. Oh, doesn't feel like there's even anything on there. Oh, I've definitely been done. Jeez, I've never had that happen. The rig has without doubt been done. So the hook is through the loop to attach the solid bag, and it's all wrapped around itself. So yeah, I've clearly just been done there. That's a bit of a shame. This is the last bag I've got tied up. I literally tied up 2 solid bags. This is the last one that I've got tied up, and looking at the light levels, it's getting close to going home time, to be honest. So I'm going to flick this one out. That right hand rod is back out there, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to pick up the camera and do another update because I'm pretty sure the right rod's going to go off again, because that seems to be what's happening. Every time I pick up the camera to sort of do an update holding it, the right hand rod seems to go. So I'm going to leave it for now because I've obviously had a couple of drop bites, I've had a couple of nuisance species, and I've only had the 2 carp, and I've probably tied up about 8 to 10 bags so far today. So if I'd caught 8 or 10 carp, it'd be great, but obviously I'm getting a lot of drop runs and interest off of obviously nuisance species. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go and tie up another couple of bags, and I might use them, I might not, depends how quick I get a bite if anything else happens. But the light levels are very, very sort of, they're on their way out now. They're going, as you can probably tell. I've probably only got about 15-20 minutes or so really till I'm probably going to pull off. So I'm going to just tie a couple, because I always like to have a couple tied for any other sessions as well. But if it does go again, potentially I can put it out there quickly and maybe get a bonus fish. the light levels are starting to drop, but it's been a lovely session, you know, for a couple of hours today. I know the first half of the session didn't go to plan, but this second session, you know, a couple of hours this evening, it's been really enjoyable. It's been pretty hectic. Rods have been dancing a lot. I've been done a couple of times, but I've also had a couple of carp, and I've had a few other nuisance species as well. Been tying up solid bags relentlessly. So it's been a very busy, hectic session, and sometimes it is nice to have a trip like that. You know, it's nice to sort of just be busy doing stuff and actively catching fish. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. It'd be interesting to know what you guys think of the hooks. Now, obviously the whole point of this video was mainly about the Korda hooks, and I've had a couple of fish which probably hasn't really proved much, but the hook holds have been very good. And I was impressed with how sharp the hooks are, even after catching a fish. You know, I would reuse them. They were very, very sharp, very sticky sharp, to be honest. So yeah, that was impressive. But I need to use them more to know really for sure. But just on my first impressions, well, I suppose it's 2 sessions. The first one I blanked. But yeah, my first impressions are I actually really like them, and I really like them with that slip D presentation in the solid bag. So I'm going to use that more going forward, and hopefully it will end up being really good and producing a business like it has today. So yeah, let me know anyway in the comments below. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video. I'm keep looking at the rods. I might look distracted, but I keep looking at the rods because basically every time I've tried to film something, the rod's gone off, and the filming today has been so vloggy and sort of hit and miss, where it's just been up and down all the time, stop start with the bites. Yeah, it's probably not been the best, but anyway, at least we've caught a few fish. So thanks for watching the video. If you've enjoyed it and you're not subscribed already, smash the subscribe button up here. Watch a video down here if you want to watch some more carpy content. And until next time, get on the bank, be lucky, and I will see you probably on next Tuesday at 6:30 in the evening for another video. Until then, get out, enjoy yourself. See you in the next one.